Welcome to Bloodbath and Beyond. Today we review Serial Mom. Every mom wants to be wanted, but not for murder.
Directed by John Waters, starring Kathleen Turner, Ricki Lake, Sam Waterston, and Matthew Lillard. Serial Mom is about exactly what you think it is. A nice house mom who has a dark side in which she kills people that get on her nerves. This is a recommendation from our top donator over on Patreon, Deke. And shockingly, I watched Skinner yesterday with CJ that had Ricki Lake and Tracy Lords in it. And here, Tracy Lords makes a cameo and Ricki Lake is one of the main people as well. Very strange coincidence, but I'm really happy to revisit this because this is one that I think both me and John probably watched a bunch as a kid, to be honest. So what do we like?
I like that they're taking this concept of serial killer and making it lighthearted. For some reason, you're rooting for the serial killer, and it's strange but funny at the same time. It's very satirical, and I enjoyed that about this film.
The whole vibe of this movie is really weird. It's got a very Leave It to Beaver style to it if you mixed it with Harvester, that FMV PC horror game.
Well, you always were a kidder, Steve.
Like the mom from that is basically this mom, who was played by Kathleen Turner, the voice of Jessica Rabbit, of course. She did a killer job. She was just a really fun, likable character. And like John said, you're rooting for her nearly the whole time, even though she's found to be the killer within like the first 20 minutes of this movie.
Yeah, and that's what's fun about this film is how it's paced. There's no mystery to us. We know she's the killer. Other characters in the film know that she's the killer, and they're just reacting in a goofy manner. Like her son, daughter, and husband. The husband in particular. Good thing this is before Law and Order, because Jack didn't have his smarts in this film, but he did find the secret stash under the bed. But that's what makes it kind of hilarious, is just like, what do you do? Like, my wife's a serial killer, so do I support her or send her in? And I thought it was pretty funny watching the struggle.
I also liked everyone else in the family too. Matthew Lillard, of course, was just fun. He runs a video store and he's super into horror movies, specifically Blood Feast. There's like 3 to 4 references in this movie about it. I also thought it was funny in the video store that they had Shock 'em Dead in the back, also a very popular Tracy Lords movie. I don't know if that was intentional or not.
The highlight was Death Becomes Her, the standee, because we were talking about that. We were like, man, why are we not watching that film?
But yeah, nostalgia aside, Matthew Lillard was fun, and Ricki Lake was kind of fun too. She was weird.
Chip, our mother is Charles Manson.
She's like constantly trying to like pick up dudes, and she sucks at it. Well, she kind of is okay at it. She picks up a couple dudes, but she's really weird, and I think that it adds to the movie. And they know that their mom's a damn serial killer. They're just hoping she isn't, and unfortunately, we got bad news for you.
You know, for somebody who doesn't wear his seatbelt, Scotty sure is nosy.
I thought the kills were kind of cool. You think that she's gonna do one thing, and they throw a curveball at you. Like, she wasn't just like, I'm a serial killing mom who's gonna kill you with a butcher knife. She used all of the weapons around her. My personal favorite was what I thought was roast beef, but it turned out to be like a lamb leg. Good on you for like going Flintstone style.
And it disposes of the evidence as well. Have the dog eat that instead of licking your feet.
Get 'em all wet.
My personal favorite was the fire poker. You know, Carl had it coming. I just thought it was fun because like this is like the first gore that we've seen in the movie. She's like touching the end of the poker. She's got blood on her sneakers. It's just a little bit different than the rest of the film. And we got that weird guy coming in and screaming for no reason after. Now, what didn't we like? I didn't really love the pacing, to be honest. I think it was cool to know that Serial Mom was the killer. But because of that, you can only run that serial killer thing so far before it's run its course. And so they have this very extended trial scene that I think lasted for way too long. It's a fun concept, and it is fun to see her try and get all of the witnesses just ejected from the courtroom. Like, I was done with it after like 5 minutes, 10 minutes maybe, but then it just kept going.
Yeah, and like they had like the ongoing gag of her getting angry at the one jury member wearing white shoes after Labor Day because you kind of knew what the payoff was going to be. It's a good concept, it's just overplayed.
They definitely could have also not let the kids in on the whole situation so early. It could be a little bit more fun of them like discovering different clues or finding things that she's left behind or something. And I just feel it was just kind of thrown out there. It's like, yep, she's the killer. See ya.
Hey, let's make a gore movie about Mom. Better get a TV series.
You don't get that moment where maybe the son, who's played by Matthew Lillard, who actually like idolizes killers, wants to have this moment with his mother. But instead, we get all three of them realizing it, and it turns into like a slapstick gag of them going in one direction and their mom going in the other.
I also didn't really enjoy some of our side characters. I think that's to be expected if you've seen any John Waters films before. He likes all of his characters to kind of have this like quirkiness to them. So like Dottie I didn't care for.
God damn you, stop calling here.
Isn't this 4215 Pussy Way?
And the couple that kept talking about dentistry, I hated that main guy. And you probably were supposed to, because this helps the audience stand behind Serial Mom, because now what she's doing somewhat feels justified in a weird sense, but I still didn't really enjoy them.
And a lot of the other side characters, like the garbage men, like there's nothing wrong with their characters, but it's just weird how they're like, yeah, you killed someone for us, so we're gonna support you. Or other moms being like, oh, I'm gonna be just like her and kill some people. It's an odd conversation to have and an odd plot point.
And there are, of course, instances where you had everybody swooning over Ted Bundy, which was kind of what this was, I assume, loosely based on. Just the fame aspect. I know it's strange to talk about these things because you know what John Waters is doing. Like, everything is done with purpose. And these are weird, trivial things to complain about. I get it.
A weird humor, and people are gonna find it hilarious. People are gonna just be like, yeah, I get it, but not for me.
Now it's time for our final thoughts and ratings. Serial Mom is one of those movies that I watched a ton as a kid. It was just a super fun time. And watching it now, it still has some nostalgia for me, but there are a lot of aspects that I just didn't really enjoy. Mainly the pacing and some of the characters, but at the same time, there's just something about the concept. Like, I do like the big joke. I like this house mom killing people and doing it for her family or her own selfish needs. It is a strange movie to place in a genre because it's almost like an adventure movie. Like, you're trying to like figure out what's going on and what's her next move. Who's she gonna kill next and why? And because of that, you're likely going to have a good time. Though if you haven't seen this before, I don't know if it's something that people would love right out the gate. But I still had a good time, so I'm gonna give this 3 awkward-ass sex scenes that really hit home for me out of 5.
This film was a stroll down memory lane for me. In fact, it made me want to watch Death Becomes Her and Ed and His Dead Mother, because these were the types of movies growing up in the 90s that you watched when your parents were like, oh no, you can't watch a horror movie. What about this comedy? That's how you get them. Serial Mom is a fun time. The story is cool. The humor isn't necessarily there, but if you're more into satirical comedy versus like laugh out loud, that's what this film is. It's making fun of something that is very serious in serial killers. And I thought Kathleen Turner did a great job. Her emotions really brought it home with making her seem very motherly and scary. Whether you've seen this a million times or you haven't at all, I would check it out because I think you're gonna enjoy it. So with that being said, I'm gonna give this film 3 crazy bird calls out of 5.
Listen to their call. Oui. Oui. Oui.
As always, thank you for watching. Like this video and comment below with your thoughts on the film if you've seen it. If you haven't and you do want to check it out, there's a brand new Scream Factory release. I highly recommend it. And if you want the opportunity to recommend a movie for us to review, check out the Patreon links also in the description. And if this is your first time here, make sure you subscribe to the channel to stay updated with everything Bloodbath and beyond.